Here is the new LK PDX from EMERBUtoys.com. You can get it on Amazon or you can get it at EMERBUtoys.com. All their stuff pretty much ships from the USA, except maybe some of the accessories. I also have an SHS M95 spring here. You can get this from EMERBUtoys.com or from Amazon through EMERBU Toys as well. That's the only size spring they sell that is stocked in the USA, and that's the maximum size spring I would put in this blaster anyway. So this LK PDX is unique. It's different than any other V2 blaster I've seen, being that it is still kind of designed in a sandwich style, like we've seen with the Gen 8 WD PDX and with the Tiangong ARP9 blasters. So that's a little unique. You don't see that often. So really, the handguard is not removable, even though it appears like it is. It's not. To take it apart is pretty easy, guys. We really just remove screws. Got a big screw here, right? We got a bigger one back there too. And then you've got several other ones. You got two longer ones right here. And then you've got like one here. You've got one here, and one down here. Plus you have these four up top on the rail. So the rail has to come off first, and then you can go ahead and remove all those other screws. Pretty straightforward and easy to do, okay? So that's what I have done right here, is just kind of taken everything off, unscrewed everything, took it off. You know, you've got your, why am I spacing on this right now? But your priming handle, your charge handle is just gonna come off. It hooks on right here. That's where that spring hooks on when you go to put it back on. Pretty straightforward there. You remove your battery release. Again, this is what we do with pretty much all blasters. And then your little blowback just sits right there on that little black piece, like it does on most of these. All right, so once you've got it open up, so we don't even need to mess with the handle. You can just leave it on. There's no reason to if we're just doing a spring change, and I'm just kind of showing you the insides. So you can untighten this right here. That'll release this piece, right? And then there's two screws on each side of this that will release this piece that holds that on. Another unique thing here that I've never seen before is the T-piece is not glued together. It actually is in two pieces. Now that's just pretty rare, and I haven't seen that before, where it actually comes off. Now, when I pushed it back together, I must have clicked it together stronger. So it was actually coming apart in two pieces, but I do have it clicked together now, which is good, because actually that's how I would want it to be. I'd want to make sure it's nice and clicked together good. So we can go ahead, we can move that now to the side, and then you can take the gearbox out. So gearbox, again, pretty straightforward. Okay, got a nice metal retention, spring retention pin there. And of course, to pop that out, I'm just going to go with the flathead. Oops, pop it out. That certainly can happen. Spring comes out. Here's your M95 spring. So in this case, the M95 is actually slightly shorter, but as you can see, it's more tightly coiled here. It definitely will be an improvement. So we'll go ahead, put that back in. And then you just kind of push it back in place, which again, at time here, you may need to use some decent force to get it in there and keep the pin straight and line everything up and get it to turn and lock in place. Turn, locked in place. Put everything back together. I mean, it's really easy, guys. You just basically are unscrewing any screw that you see that you appear to need to unscrew. And then in reverse, we're just gonna screw everything back together. So actually, this is a lot easier than a lot of typical V2 gear blasters, V2 gearbox blasters, because of the fact that it is this sandwich style. It actually makes it easier to go ahead. Make sure you don't lose these little metal square pieces. Those are what those actually have the threads for these screws for the rail to go into. You definitely need those there. Really, as long as you make sure this is clicked closed tight, which I said in my case it wasn't, and I might put a little silicone or silicone tape on this. Actually, it's in there good. Oh, no, so I probably will put a little bit of something there. and then push it in nice and tight just to make sure there's no air loss there. That's really all we'll do with this. So we'll just see where we're at with the M95 spring. Again, this is the LK PDX, MAXIM PDX from EMERBU Toys on Amazon or emerbutoys.com. It's new for June of 2025. It has the V2 gearbox rather than the Gen 8.5 like the previous one did. Questions, comments, post them below. Like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends. Participate in those YouTube contests when they're live. Thanks.